7:30.
Oh.
Oh, look at this ref crew.
All-star.
All-star cast. Susie Syracuse.
Yeah, it's going to stick with you now, isn't it?
Susie.
Check 1 2. Mike, check 1 2.
Bop, 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 bop. I think we're this one. Yeah. Good evening, everybody, and welcome on Friday night here on 97.3 ESPN. It is high school basketball live from Holy Spirit as the Spartans host the Mainland Mustangs. Mike Gill and Mike Frankel set to take you through this National Division matchup. Mike, and of course, the National Division is a very interesting one because somebody in this division has got to go to the playoffs, but these teams seemingly are in it for the wild card spot because that United Division has been very deep and talented this year.
Yeah, it's a unique sort of makeup of the Cape Atlantic League this year, Mike. I mean, across the board, you look at the United Division, you have to figure 3 teams are going to come out of that if we're talking Cape Atlantic League playoffs, Wildwood Catholic, Pleasantville, and also St. Joe. You look at the American as well, and you have Millville and St. Augustine, possibly an Egg Harbor Township or a Vineland. So this matchup tonight between Mainland and Holy Spirit, obviously 2 National Division teams, and you do get 2 automatic bids. The problem is for all of these teams in the National Division, the ones toward the top anyway, there's really 4 in that mix, right? It's these 2 here tonight. It's Holy Spirit, it's Mainland, it's Ocean City, and it's Lower Cape May. So because 4 teams are basically jockeying for 2 spots to qualify for the tournament, each game is magnified, especially a game between 2 division rivals here tonight.
Yeah, then you look at one team you didn't mention, Atlantic City, which is the ultimate wild card because, they are really struggling along at 2-6. They've lost 5 straight games, and, one has to wonder, do they get their act together and do they get themselves back into this wild card conversation? They've already got, Mike, 6 losses this year. It's going to be tough to imagine that they would be a wild card team.
It's crazy to think, right, that Atlantic City would not be involved in the Cape Atlantic League playoffs, but that's certainly the way it's trending right now. I mean, there's a lot of season left to go, but, once you cross into the new year, and we're obviously in January now, the games start to matter that much more, right? You're getting closer to the end, and, Atlantic City is a younger team. They have some things to figure out, but these are 2 teams here tonight in Mainland and Holy Spirit that everything's basically in front of them. Holy Spirit very much still in the driver's seat in the division. Mainland, you don't want to say a must-win tonight, but they could certainly really use this one, having just lost to Ocean City, another team in that clump in the National Conference just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, Mike, you got Holy Spirit 7-3, 3-0 in the conference. Mainland 5-4, 2-1 in the conference. So this is a big game for both these teams, but Mainland really, a loss tonight puts them behind the 8 ball. So on the road, they got to find a way to get a victory. They were able to get a big one the other night.
They've been road warriors this week, and, they opened the week on the road at Middle Township. They got a win there. Then the loss to Ocean City. We're talking about Mainland here. So 3rd road game in a week. That's a tough haul, and they're all pretty good opponents, obviously. A couple Division I's in there as well. I got a chance to see Holy Spirit last weekend at the Seagull Classic. Sort of got blown out late, right? They were right in that game with Pleasantville throughout, and then the 4th quarter, the Greyhounds turned it on. But Holy Spirit bouncing back with that big win over Atlantic City a couple of nights ago.
We've got live video streaming on our website, Matt Ulmer, on 97.3 ESPN.com. Holy Spirit in white, Mainland in green. Spartans with the ball moving right to left on your radio dial as Mainland putting a little pressure on to start things off. Joe Glenn with a jumper, misses everything, and the rebound comes down to the Mustangs. Here comes Cook in transition, and a easy layup for the Mustangs to get things going. Angelo Barron starts it off.
So Holy Spirit falling sort of right into that Mainland trap, right? Pun intended. They wanted to speed up the Spartans on that first possession. They got to speed up, they got to miss, and they got to run out at the other end.
Glenn spinning, fadeaway jumper, and that rattles home. So Holy Spirit answers. They go with Jarina, Giorgio, Kalinowski, LaMonica, and Glenn, the 5 starters for Holy Spirit. Zanaris, Barron, Cook, Mace, and Masari start for the Mustangs. Left hand. Barron thought about a 3, puts it on the floor at the elbow, kicks it in the corner. Quick pass back up top for Masari. Top of the key. Back over to Cook. Barron leaves it off. Jaquan Mace, dribble drive, trying to get some separation and a foul on the floor. George McLean, the official, whistled it right in the middle of the paint as a dribble drive for Tom Zanaris. He's been a good scorer for the Mustangs.
Tough call there against Santino Giorgio, too, because he had good position. You thought maybe he could possibly take a charge down the lane, but he decided to go with the offensive player and just got called for reaching in at the last moment.
First 3-throw attempt for Zanaris. He makes a pair, so Tommy Z's got 2. 4-2 Mainland. Early stages, first quarter, 97.3 ESPN, 97.3 ESPN.com has the live video. Christian Kalinowski. Giorgio throws a pass. It goes right off the chest of Barron, and Mason transition gets, he missed the layup, wide open. And Holy Spirit comes down with the transition. Kalinowski with the pop-up jumper, and it's long, and Masari runs down the rebound. Here comes Masari, no-look pass, and it is tipped out of bounds by Jarena, and it'll stay with the Mustangs.
So you're seeing
6:13 to play first quarter.
Yeah, excuse me, Mike. You're seeing very quickly that Mainland wants to get up and down tonight. They think they can control the tempo, and they want to pressure Holy Spirit, and they want to force some things, and they want to run when they have the opportunities. And that's what we've seen so far from the Stangs.
Mustangs inbound. Barron thinking about a three now, puts it on the floor. Barron spin move, went in the left hand, and he gets it to go. Angelo Barron has 4, and that was a nice move.
And here comes the full court pressure from Mainland too. Again, not too much, but they're going to go man-to-man. They're going to pick up the full distance of the court and make Holy Spirit work to bring it across.
Masari really working hard on the ball. Giorgio, the St. Joe transfer, he passes it off to Jarena. Jarena at the foul line. Now he leaves it off, and we got a block in the middle of the paint is Jake LaMonica. And LaMonica can score for Holy Spirit.
One of the senior leaders on this team, obviously a guy who was in the starting rotation a year ago as a junior, and captain of the Spartans this season.
Jake LaMonica, senior from Margate, at the free throw line. 6-2 Mainland leads, 5:38 to play. LaMonica's first free throw rattles in. LaMonica, his brother, last season, Sam LaMonica, was a threat for the Spartans. Now Jake takes over, and he misses the second free throw. Barron comes down with the miss. Masari comes up the right sideline. 6-3 Mainland, 5:30 to play here in the first quarter. Zanaris up top, Jake Cook. Barron with the ball high over his head, guarded by Giorgio, splits the defenders, and it's stolen away by Jarena. Jarena, the tight end from the football team, throws a pass to Kalinowski, but they called him for steps.
You get away with that in the NBA, but not at the high school level, Mike. Just needed to put the ball down on the floor once. It was just too great a distance between him and the hoop. Sort of took 2.5 steps there, and the traveling violation.
Masari leaves it off on the right side. On the wing, Spartans in white, Mainland in green. Masari, the point guard, backs up. 6-3 Mainland leads. Now Masari stares down. Giorgio defending. Uses the screen, rolls to the baseline. Kick back up top, three-point, thought about it, dribble drive, throws it off the backboard, and the rebound comes down to Kalinowski. Kalinowski with a left-hand dribble over to LaMonica. LaMonica with the ball high over his head. Bounce pass up top for Glenn. Swings it over to Jarena on the right wing. A cutting LaMonica, and it's stolen away nearly by Mainland. Now Glenn puts it on the floor, and Glenn with a little right-hand jumper, and he has 4, and we're 6-5, Mainland leads.
Glenn being very assertive. He missed on an air ball his first attempt, but since then he's been very aggressive offensively. Got a couple buckets since then.
Barron dribble drive, kick out. Masari, long three, rattles off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound, Kalinowski, and here comes the Spartans in transition. Kalinowski all the way, he's going to take it himself, and a layup is good for Christian Kalinowski.
Just turned on an extra gear there, Mike. He was even with a couple Mainland players right around midcourt, and Kalinowski able to accelerate. Nice finish near the bucket, too.
Mainland trails for the first time, 7-6. Foul line. Barron leaves it over for Masari on the left side. Down low, Barron dribbles with the two hands, and then he took steps. He put it on the floor once, Mike, and then he put it down to try to get a little extra space.
Something to think about down low when you have Joe Glenn for Holy Spirit. It just makes you take an extra thought or an extra dribble, and just a little shuffle of the feet there from Mainland.
Sella's in for Holy Spirit. Mazer for Mainland. So first bodies off the bench for green and white. Spartans lead 7-6, 3:20 to play here. First quarter at Holy Spirit. Glenn on the baseline. Glenn goes up with a nice layup, and Glenn with 6 points.
So the aggression continues from Joe Glenn. Nice seal there. He's able to seal off his defender, put him on his back, and from there, clear path to the bucket.
Joe Masari, the point guard. Cook on the wing. Jab step from Zanaris. Zanaris now runs into Jarina, and we've got a foul on the floor by Isaiah Jarina. That's a big body to run into.
That Holy Spirit defense has really clamped down, and Mainland able to get a couple early buckets there, but since then, Mustangs have had to work for everything offensively.
Zanaris will inbound. He gets it in quickly for Barron. Barron up top, gets it to Mazer. Mazer with a no-look quick snap pass to Zanaris, and his shot is long, and the rebound comes down to Jarina. 9-6 Spartans lead on a little run here. It was 6-2 Mainland, so a 7-0 run. LaMonica leaves it off to Jarina, who will shoot it from there. Glenn, a little up and under spin move, and Joe Glenn has 8 points, and he is really too much to handle for Mainland at the start of things here. 11-6 Holy Spirit leads Mainland on 97.3 ESPN.
That's about as aggressive and as assertive as we've seen Joe Glenn. You know, certainly a guy who got some varsity minutes last year for Holy Spirit and in the starting lineup this season. And he's gone through games where he's not really one of the top options on offense. And they haven't necessarily been running plays for him here, but he's been aggressive, you know, to the bucket a couple of times and looking for the basketball on offense. So a situation where, you know, he might be growing up right before our eyes here, and that would be a big boost for Jamie Gillespie's team.
So Mainland got off to that 6-2 start, Mike, and it's been all Holy Spirit since. And Joe Glenn's been a big factor in that, as you mentioned here. But, you know, that's a big difference. You can see his size. Mainland, not a big team.
Yeah, he has the advantage in the middle. We talked about it. You know, Mainland offensively has had to work for every shot attempt since that early run, and it's really because Joe Glenn has been manning the middle. The guards have been also doing a nice job on the outside. Tough man-to-man defense right now from Holy Spirit. So Mainland has to figure a couple things out here. I mean, they got off to that hot start, but since then, it's been all Spartans defensively and Joe Glenn offensively.
2:24 to play first quarter. We'll get you to the Sixers game right after this on 97.3 ESPN. We'll keep you updated throughout the night on the Sixers and the Hawks. No Embiid tonight. That's a big guy. Joe Glenn, a big guy here. And Mustangs back to live action, trailing 11-6 with the ball. 2:21 to play. Masari, Mainland in green. Holy Spirit in white. Kind of a matchup 2-3 zone. Splitting defenders. Mazer circles baseline, and Barron looked like he stepped on the end line and turns it over. Boy, Mazer, I don't know how he got that pass out.
Stangs just having trouble with the length of Holy Spirit right now. You know, if it's not Glenn down low, it's Jarina down there as well, and just a lot of large bodies, not a lot of room to turn the corner in and around the paint for the Mustangs. 3-ball
Sella wide open, and he airs it, and the rebound comes down to Tommy Z. Here comes Zanaris, crosses the timeline. Zanaris, bounce pass, Barron. Barron goes to the basket with the left hand. It's short, and the rebound is fought for and won by Joe Glenn. Glenn having a night. His name mentioned a lot in scoring and now grabbing boards. Giorgio back for Holy Spirit. Spartans in white, left side. Jarina with a three. It's short, and the rebound comes down to Glenn. Glenn puts up a shot. It almost went down, and he got fouled. He feels like he's got a little confidence tonight.
He's certainly into the flow early on, Mike, and you mentioned we've called his names a number of times so far, and we're still in the first quarter here. Jarina, though, that look from the corner, that's his game. I mean, he is a big body, but he likes those corner threes. He's certainly capable of hitting them. Missed it there, but his teammate able to come up with the offensive rebound. That's Joe Glenn.
Glenn looking to get in double figures here in the first quarter. He misses the first free throw. He's got 8 of the Spartans' 11. LaMonica back, Jarina out. Glenn back to the line. His second attempt with 1:30 to play here in the first quarter. Live video on our website, 973ESPN.com. If you're driving around, make sure you download the app. You can watch it there. Second one good. Joe Glenn's got 9. Masari spins into some trouble. Mazer for 3. Gets it to go. Mazer with confidence.
Nice boost off the bench there for Mainland, and a good setup, too. His teammate Masari able to shovel the ball right back to him. Nice, clean-looking rhythm.
Mazer, a really good athlete. A lot of speed. Glenn catches at the foul line, and boy, he's just feeling that little jumper. One dribble, middle of the paint, and gets it to go.
This isn't the Joe Glenn we've seen. I mean, he's a guy who's, you don't want to say an afterthought offensively. He's a big part of this team, but he doesn't look for his points that much. But so far, he's been running the show for Holy Spirit.
He's got 11 of their 14. Spartans lead 14-9. Mainland with the ball, 44 seconds to play here in this first quarter. Barron leaves it off. Masari on the right side. Back up top. Zanaris. Ball fake, dribble drive all the way to the basket, and somehow splits defenders, and Tom Zanaris gets 2 more. He's got 4, and the Mustangs trail by 3.
It's been tough sledding so far for Zanaris, but he's really sticking with it. That time, able to get it to go.
LaMonica almost throws it away as Masari, always hustling, knocks it out of bounds. Giorgio will inbound the ball. 20 seconds left to go. Spartans lead by 3 with the ball. Kalinowski leaves it off Giorgio. Into the corner for LaMonica. Deep right side. Kalinowski on the left wing. They make the extra pass, then swing it back to Kalinowski. His 3 is long. The rebound comes down for Barron. He's got 7 seconds. Up the far sideline. He's got 5. Barron spins. Top of the key. 3-ball Masari, and it is banked in.
Just like they drew it up, right?
Masari catches, fires, and at the buzzer, it banks in, and Mainland and Holy Spirit are all tied up. 14-14 after 1 here on the Atlantic Air Game of the Week on 97.3 ESPN, produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN and live video at 97.3ESPN.com. So far, pretty good game so far, and you can see 2 evenly matched teams in this national. You brought it up at the beginning. There's 4 teams all clumped in there, and you can see why.
Yeah, it wasn't lip service. What we talked about off of the top very much holds true. I mean, you know, you look at a matchup between Holy Spirit and Ocean City a couple of weeks ago. That one sort of went right down to the wire with Holy Spirit winning that. Ocean City just matching up with Mainland the other night. Another game that sort of, again, just went right down to the wire. Excuse me. I think Ocean City won by 8 or 10, but a very competitive game. And, you know, Lower Cape May right there as well. Hasn't played these teams yet, but very evenly matched across the board. You know, none of these teams in that group of 4 that we've talked about in the Cal National, I don't think will run away with this division. So it's going to come down to who shows up, right? I mean, these are high school kids, and on paper is great, but it's going to come down to who shows up on game night. So far, very competitive. Obviously very impressed with Joe Glenn for Holy Spirit. And then across the board for Mainland, you know, they hit a really rough patch there in the middle of that first quarter. But guys like Tommy Zanaris, Angelo Barron, Luke Mazer able to pump in some points to get this thing tied after 1.
Yeah, Mainland 5-4, Holy Spirit 7-3. And the Mustangs 2-1 in the conference. Holy Spirit right now at the top. They just had that big win against Atlantic City. They opened up the gym the other night. This would be another nice win for them if they could get it here tonight. At home, they beat the Vikings handily on Wednesday night.
Yeah, and that was a game, too, where Spirit's 6th man, Jack Sella, popped off the bench and had a huge night. So he's been really contributing in a big way for Holy Spirit, not only in that game, but in the Pleasantville game last weekend at the Seagull Classic as well.
Start of the second, 14-14. Mazer behind the back. Mazer leaves it off. 3-point ball for Cook is long. Sella comes down with the rebound. Cook leaves it off for Giorgio. Giorgio spins. He's double teamed. He nearly loses it. Then he tries to just throw it behind his back, and Mazer comes up with the steal. Then Mazer just throws it into the front court, and Zanaris runs it down. Zanaris brings it to the top of the key, crosses over, kicks out. Mazer thought about it and then fired it up. And Mazer's got 6. Boy, if he would have just caught and shoot, it looked like it. And then he said, wait a second, I got all the time in the world out here.
Mazer knocks it down, but really set up by Tommy Zanaris. He drew 3 defenders on him, was able to kick to the corner.
Mazer has 2 threes for 6. Giorgio comes down and comes up short. Mainland with the rebound. 17-14. Mustangs lead by 3 with the ball. Under 7 minutes to play. Mazer dribble drive and a shovel pass down to Barron. And Barron gets separation. And Barron causes Jamie Gillespie to call timeout as Mainland leads 19-14.
Luke Mazer paying it forward. We talked about his teammate freeing him up with an open look. That time he's able to draw a few defenders coming down the lane and then dish it over to Angelo Barron, and Barron with the easy layup too. So a nice little boost here to start the second quarter for Mainland. Obviously you get the bank in 3 at the end of the first, create a little momentum. Not how you drew it up, but you'll certainly take it. and then the first 5 points here in the second quarter as well.
By the way, Mike, Mainland getting some boost off the bench. Mazur with the 2 threes, but he had a nice assist there, dribble drive. He seems like a guy that gives him a nice spark off the bench. And then, of course, Barron has scored in a variety of ways so far. So both of these teams have some balance scoring. They don't seem like they come in with that, key guy that you got to key on. They're very balanced. Yeah,
you're right. And neither team really goes that deep either, Mike. I mean, Holy Spirit really plays 6, maybe 7 guys, and Mainland's just about the same. So, the guys we're seeing on the court plus the one substitute for each team are really the ones who are going to decide this thing. So endurance plays a factor as well. And that was an issue for Holy Spirit, in my eyes, in the Seagull Classic against Pleasantville, a much deeper team. But both these teams, in terms of depth, even tonight, we'll see how it goes.
Back to live action. 19-14, Mainland leads. Spartans with the ball. 6:35 left to play in the half. LaMonica, Giorgio, Kalinowski, Glenn down on the post. Glenn, reverse layup and good. And Glenn's got 13, a chance for 14 as he goes to the line. And Glenn has dominated tonight.
So it's not coincidence at this point, right? This is obviously a game plan thing going in with Jamie Gillespie and his guys sensing the size advantage on the inside. That's why we've seen so many touches for Joe Glenn in and around the paint, and that time the and one situation.
Glenn pure from the line, 14 of the 17 for Holy Spirit. Leading the way, of course, for all scores in double figures here with 6:20 left to play in the first half, with Mainland leading 19-17. Mazur, jab step, Mazur left hand, good! Mazur with a floater. Boy, Mazur with a lot of confidence.
Tough shot, too. He really had to get that up and over a Spartan defender down there. Very unorthodox, but he's able to splash it through.
Giorgio crosses over to Jarena. Bounce pass down to Glenn. They're going to go right back to him on the left block. Now he kicks it out. Back to Glenn. They're pushing Glenn off that block, and he's fighting his way. Reverse spin, but he was fouled. Glenn's really feeling it. Confident enough to get fouled and go to the line now.
You don't see the post-repost too much in high school either. I mean, a lot of times at the high school level, they'll go into the post. If it's kicked back out, they'll switch it. But that's what Joe Glenn was able to do there. I mean, he didn't have the angle at first, kicks it back out. He reposts, and then he's able to draw the foul when he gets the ball right back.
Yeah, because he was pushed out a little further. They want to get him off that block and away from the basket.
Yeah, Mainland trying to be physical with him down low. You have to be when you're giving up size. But Joe Glenn, I mean, we're seeing it right there on the court right now. He's got about 5-6 inches on the tallest defender for Mainland, so he's having his way.
He's a junior, Glenn. And he goes 1 of 2 from the line. 15 of the 18 for Glenn. They trail 21-18. Mainland with the ball. Spartans showing pressure. Masari handling. 5:43 to play first half. And Masari just throws it away. Intercepted by Jarena. Jarena 3-on-2. And a block down low. Barron with a block. Here comes Cook in transition. Cook going coast to coast. A layup and a foul. Cook goes coast to coast. He gets it to go. And a foul by Jarena will put Cook at the line. A 5-point lead. 23-18 Mainland with 5:28 to play in the half.
So it's been almost all Glenn for Holy Spirit, but really a balanced attack across the board right now as Jake Cook finally gets in the scoring book.
Cook at the line, and he can't get it to go. It rolled all the way around that rim and finally came out. Rebound, Holy Spirit. 5:22 to play, first half. Kalinowski on the far sideline, between the legs. Top of the key, gives up the dribble, leaves it off for LaMonica. LaMonica having a tough night on the offensive end. He tried to get going, he misses. Comes up short. Jake Cook comes out with the rebound. Cook crosses the timeline, goes behind the back, leaves it off for Masari. Masari into the corner. Barron left-hand 3. It's too strong. Rebound goes up to Cook, and he gets it to go. Puts up the loose change. He's got 4, and it's a Mainland 25-18 lead.
All in one motion, too, for Cook. He grabbed that rebound. He didn't even come down. He goes right back up with it in the air.
Steal by Mazur. He takes it right from Giorgio and then goes coast to coast. He got poked from behind and still made the tough layup. Mazur, 10 off the bench. And the Spartans call timeout. Mainland leads it by 9 on 97.3 ESPN. Live video at 97.3ESPN.com. But Mazur picks the pocket of Giorgio, Mike, and then goes coast to coast. It looked like he might have been fouled. He was off balance and then kind of had to reverse the layup.
It's been a couple runs for Mainland. The early game run when they got out to the early lead, and then they kind of bogged down offensively. But again, that banking three from Masari at the end of the first, and then it's really been all Mustangs here in the second. I mean, Joe Glenn has some buckets for Holy Spirit, but the Mainland Mustangs just with a different level of energy right now that we're seeing out on the floor than that of the Holy Spirit Spartans.
By the way, Sixers trail Atlanta 48-46. We'll get you out to that game right after this one on 97.3 ESPN. They got 4:32. We're at 4:38 in the first half. They're at 4:32 of the first half. We'll get you right out there as soon as this one's over. No Embiid tonight, no J.J. Redick tonight, by the way.
Fun fact, I was at the Wells Fargo Center earlier today. My high school game there, Haddon Heights knocking off Clayton. So fun for those kids. Get a chance to play where the pros play.
27-18 here, 4:30 left to play. Live action, Giorgio with the ball. Dribble drive, left hand, goes to the basket, leaves it for Glenn. Right block, Glenn, layup good. Joe Glenn, 17 points. He's been the story for Holy Spirit. You got to imagine that Jamie Gillespie drew that play up.
No doubt. He's been a monster, but now Spirit needs to get some stops. Mainland really been unstoppable so far here in the second.
Zanaris dribbles it off his foot, goes right to Barron. Barron spins, gets it back to Tommy Z. Up at the top of the key. Cook puts it on the floor, left of the lane. Bounce pass. Masari goes baseline and then kind of fakes like he was going to pass it into the middle of the lane, then went back to the baseline, then lost it, and it goes out of bounds and will go back to the Spartans.
I like the penetration from Masari, just not the shot attempt. I mean, when you're in there, especially with Glenn looming, it's going to take a little bit more than trying to flick it up underhand, sort of on the run.
27-20, 3:52 left to play here in the first half. Giorgio crosses the timeline, trying to get by Mazer. Mazer cuts him off, gets it into the corner for Sella. Sella puts it on the floor, spins to the baseline, now gives up the dribble. Up top for Kalinowski. Kalinowski, belt high dribble to the right wing. Over to LaMonica for three, and LaMonica comes up way short, and he turns it over. 27-20, Mainland leads. 3:33 left, first half. LaMonica just can't get going. He's just got 1 point.
Jamie Gillespie's team, they need a guard to get going. Glenn obviously has been really solid down low, but none of the perimeter players are really feeling anything so far in this game, Mike.
Mazer baseline, spins, gives up the dribble. Barron, three ball. Zanaris in the deep right corner, and it goes 7 for Zanaris.
Mainland in some kind of rhythm right now as that lead swells to 10.
Kalinowski looking to answer on the right wing on the far sideline, uses the Glenn screen. Now he floats one up from the elbow. Front rim, no good. Cook comes down with the board. Here comes the Mustangs, leading by 10 with the ball. 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Masari crosses over, almost loses the handle. Then he does. Giorgio picks it up. LaMonica catches. LaMonica goes to the bucket and a left-hand layup. LaMonica's got his first bucket of the game. He's got 3. And it's a 8-point Mustang lead. They have the ball. 2:40 to play here in the first half. Crossing over the timeline is Basari. Right back the other way on the left wing. Zanaris jab step. Zanaris dribble drive. Zanaris to the bucket. Strong. Can't get it to go. And Glenn gets tangled up with Barron. And we got a whistle on the floor.
I think that one going to go against Glenn and give Barron a lot of credit. He's able to put a body on the big guy down low, and he's able to get in there and draw the foul.
Inbounding. Zanaris, middle of the key, kick out, 3-ball. Cook, short, rebound. Zanaris fights for it. Cook comes down with it. Cook with a layup, and Cook gets it to go. He's got 6, and the Mustangs back up by 10.
Mainland getting all the 50-50 balls right now, Mike, as Jarena goes to work at the other end, drives, and gets 2.
Yeah, Jarena, big body. Jarena gets his first field goal of the night, and he cuts the lead back to 8 with just under 2 minutes to play here in this first half. 32-24. Mainland dressed in green. If you're watching live video on our website, 973ESPN.com. Zanaris, top of the key. A little pressure from the Spartans. Now Zanaris tries to get by. Kicks into the corner. Barron goes baseline. Barron strong to the basket. And Barron has 8 to pump that lead back to 10. Giorgio held scoreless. Crosses the timeline, goes to the right. Now he almost slips and falls, but he gets the ball into the corner for Kalinowski. Kalinowski in the deep corner. Defended by Mace. Spun, spinning, baseline. Leaves it for Glenn. Glenn goes up strong. And Glenn with 19 points, keeping Holy Spirit in the game with 1:05 to play in this first half.
give the Spartans credit. I mean, they're taking really the best shots from Mainland, but they're hanging in right now, just down 8 when really it's been an onslaught from the Stangs.
Top of the key, Masari between the circles, stare down by Sella. Masari tries to go past him. Masari goes, and he took steps.
See what the strategy is here for Holy Spirit under a minute to go. Still probably too much time to hold for one, and see if you can maybe get a 2 for 1. See if you can get a score and speed Mainland up a little bit. Try to get the ball back if you're Holy Spirit right now.
51.3 seconds left to play here in the first half. Here we go. Spartans with the ball. They trail 34-26. Kalinowski crosses over, trying to get some separation, goes all the way to the basket. Scoop shot, no good. Masari out and running. He's got Zanaris, gets it up. Tommy Z, layup, and it's blocked away by Jarena. And the student section comes filing out. Finally something to cheer about for the Spartans.
Looks like Elijah Gray in the front row over there, standout running back for the Spartans football team. He had to kind of hold the rest of the student section back. They wanted to pour out onto the court after that huge rejection.
But still, Mainland has the ball. 33 seconds left to go here in this first half. Barron catches the inbounds. Now he hands it off for Zanaris, who looks at the clock. He's got 30 seconds to go. First half. Mustangs lead 34-26. Crossover left of the lane. Zanaris fires up a shot. Strong. Rebound. Kick back out. Barron dribble drive. Barron loses the handle, and Jack Sella comes up with the miss. Here comes Sella. Sella in transition. Sella all the way, and he hits the deck hard, and he'll get to the line on a foul.
How tough is Jack Sella? I mean, that was a big-time collision, as you called. He hit the ground very hard, just pops right back up and hustles to the free throw line.
So Sella will get to the line, an Absecon resident. And he fires at the first free throw, no good. 34-26, 12.3 seconds left to go here in this first half. Masari jumps back in, and Jaquan Mace will take a seat. Second shot coming for Sella. He's scoreless. 19 for Glenn. He leads all scores for Holy Spirit. Second one rattles out, no good. LaMonica fights for the rebound. He comes down with it. 9 seconds. Giorgio tried to shoot, got it knocked away, and Barron picks it up, gives it to Mazer. Mazer pulls up for 3. Mazer connects. 13 for Mazer. He's got 3 triples in the game, and he gives Mainland their largest lead at 11 as we go to halftime on 97.3 ESPN.
Mike, tonight's game brought to you by Atlanticare. Atlanticare Urgent Care Centers located throughout South Jersey, staffed with board-certified providers, registered nurses, and X-ray technologists. They provide care for non-life-threatening emergencies and illnesses 7 days a week, including holidays, without an appointment or long wait times. X-ray and lab services are right on site. If the unexpected happens, it's the urgent care you know you can trust. For a complete list of hours and locations, visit atlanticare.org/urgent. Tonight's game also brought to you by Blue Water Graphics. Need a sign? You need Captain Charlie. Captain Charlie uses Blue Water Graphics and Cape Signs to create signs for real estate and other businesses. They do construction site signs and window lettering for your business. They can also provide the lettering for your van, truck, car, or boat. You can reach Blue Water Graphics at 609-823-8891 and Cape Signs at 856-506-0610. Signs, banners, vehicles, windows, they can supply whatever lettering you need at Blue Water Graphics and Cape Signs.
This game is brought to you with the best wishes of everyone at Calvi Electric in Atlantic City, who encourage you to get out and support your favorite high school team every week. Mike Hill, Mike Frankel, we are live. The Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN, brought to you by Atlanticare with urgent care centers all over South Jersey. First half in the books. Mazer leads the way for Mainland with 13. Joe Glenn, 19 for the Spartans. And we'll come back with the second half. Holy Spirit and Mainland. Mustangs 37, Spartans 26 on 97.3 ESPN with live video at 97.3ESPN.com. All right, welcome back. About to start the second half here at Holy Spirit High School on this Friday night. 97.3 ESPN presents high school basketball, the game of the week, produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN. With urgent care centers located throughout South Jersey, staff certified for you. And of course, Mike Gill, Mike Frankel taking you through the second half of this game as Mainland leads Holy Spirit 37-26. Been Mazer off the bench, 13 points, shooting the three against Joe Glenn in the paint, scoring 19. So really contrasting ways for these two teams tonight. Although Mainland's been kind of more balanced. Mazer's been shooting the three, but they have had a little bit more balanced scored. It's been all Joe Glenn for Holy Spirit.
Spartans need to find some other options offensively, some other guys to get it going. But you're right, Mazer, he had 4 threes in the game against Ocean City the other night, including a 40-footer at the first quarter buzzer in that one. But what an individual effort from him to close out that second quarter. He sort of poked the ball out from behind. He won't get credit for the steal, but he initiated the play defensively. Then he rolls out on offense and bangs the three to close out the half. But we'll see if the Spartans have an answer here. I mean, they were able to settle in and really gain the lead there in the first quarter, but that second quarter pretty much dominated by Mainland.
About to start the second half here on 97.3 ESPN. Kalinowski will inbound. Spartans with the ball, moving left to right, wearing all white. 37-26. Here we go. Jarena on the far side gets it down to Glenn. Glenn on the left block. Glenn double teamed, and we got a foul. So they know the potion that got them into this spot. They go right back to Joe Glenn.
He's been efficient. I mean, he has, 19 points. He hasn't taken a ton of shots. But again, you still want to work the offense through him if you think you have an advantage there. But you need to try and early on get some of these other guys going.
Sixers game coming up after us. They are at halftime, leading by 2, 58-56. As LaMonica's three is long, and the rebound's tapped out to Masari. Masari with the pass, gets it out to Cook. Cook goes coast to coast. Cook, layup, and a foul. Boy, Jake Cook, 8 points. He's given him a nice spark at times.
He was quiet early on, too, so he had 6 really toward the end of that second quarter, and obviously 2 there, the and 1 situation. Giorgio felt like he really didn't have a lot of contact there, but the officials get him for sort of coming across the arm, and now here's Cook at the free throw line, a chance to complete the three-point play.
39-26, Mainland leads. Spartans are going to need to find some secondary scoring, Mike. Cook's free throw is good. He's got 9. It's a 14-point lead for the Mustangs. Giorgio pressured by Masari. Giorgio really feeling the heat. Dribble drive, Kalinowski, left-hand scoop shot, and it can't go. And boy, the tin is on top of the rim tonight for Holy Spirit. Steal by Jarena, and boy, behind the back, he saved it and gets it into Kalinowski. Here comes Kalinowski going coast to coast. Kick out three ball up. Giorgio, long rebound for Jarena. Jarena at the elbow, right side. Giorgio down on the block, and LaMonica gets a layup, cutting to the lane.
Good patience there by Holy Spirit after the offensive rebound. A couple of guys had a chance to go right back up with it, but the Spartans kept looking for the guy who was a little bit more open. In that case, it was LaMonica. He ends up with a layup.
Masari over to Mace. Baseline, kick out, and he throws it right to LaMonica. Here comes the Spartans. No numbers, but LaMonica takes it and layup, foul, and he'll go to the line. Boy, LaMonica just lowered, bulldozed. Did they call an offensive foul?
They did, Mike. Okay. Yeah, and I think that's the right call.
It seemed like nobody was really sure of what was going on there.
So the Mainland defender didn't have his feet set, but what they called was LaMonica extended the forearm and really did initiate that contact. So if he doesn't extend the forearm, it's definitely a blocking foul. But it's a charge because he puts that arm out and the defender goes flying.
I think that was pretty clear.
It was.
That was a good call. Mazer starts the second half for Mainland, so he is in the game and he takes the inbounds pass. Zanaris with a tough shot, can't get it to go, and it's one and done for Mainland. 40-28 they lead. Spartans with the ball, 6:10 left to play in the third quarter. Kalinowski at the foul line. Kalinowski all the way, slicing And Christian Kalinowski with 3 on that layup there. Mazur fires the pass to Masari. Masari cross court, 3, Zanaris, good. Zanaris has 10 with that 3, and Mainland back up by 13.
Zanaris wanted that look. He was calling for the basketball, and really a quick catch and a quick release. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he drills it.
43-30, 5.5 minutes to play third quarter. Kalinowski, he's starting to feel it. He fires up a shot, short, no good. But Glenn with the offensive board. The putback is no good, but Joe Glenn with 19 points will go to the line.
Joe Glenn crashing the offensive glass, and Holy Spirit not necessarily running a lot of plays through him to start this third quarter, but a situation there where he's able to get the offensive rebound and get another opportunity at the line.
So Joe Glenn leads all scorers with 19. Gets that to go. But Mainland scored, 46 the other night? Or, excuse me, Holy Spirit just scored 46 the other night. Mainland's at 43 right now. And Glenn hits a pair. He's got 21 of the 32.
You'd have to think that's a season high, maybe career high. Still a lot of basketball to be played here tonight.
Masari, 11-point lead for the Mustangs with the ball. Cook at the elbow, kicks out to Masari. He thought about a 3. Now he dribbles left and blocked away by Glenn. So Masari shot is blocked. Kalinowski with the rebound. He takes it coast to coast. Kick out 3. LaMonica's shot is long. And Giorgio comes down with the loose change. Now Kalinowski. Kalinowski kick out. LaMonica puts it on the floor. And LaMonica, ooh, he can't get the layup to fall. He had a good look. Here comes Cook. Cook in transition. Cook splitting defenders. And it kicks off the foot of a Spartan defender out of bounds. And Mainland will inbound the ball, leading by 11 with 4:41 to play in the third quarter.
Tough break for LaMonica on the offensive end for Holy Spirit. He sort of got stuck between trying to go glass on that layup and just trying to put it in cleanly. As a result, it rolls out.
Masari catches off the 3 and bangs down a 3. His second of the night. He's got 6. And Mainland back up 14. Kalinowski, Giorgio for 3. In and out, no good. Rebound. Comes down to Mazur. Mazur. And his pass is too long for Cook, and they turn it right over. Jarena between the legs. Jarena spins. Kick out. Giorgio. Jab step. Over to LaMonica for 3, and LaMonica's shot is long. The rebound comes down to Kalinowski, and a foul.
Holy Spirit just ice cold tonight, Mike. Certainly this quarter from the outside, and Mainland has really been shooting the lights out, very effective from three-point range.
Yeah, Mainland's getting it from a variety, Mike. Zanaris hit a 3. Masari has 2 3s. Mazurs has 3 3s.
And this was the move that you knew Jamie Gillespie was going to go to. Jack Sella, he just such a big boost the other night against Atlantic City, so he comes off the bench for the first time here in the second half.
3 off the inbound for Kalinowski, and he's got 6. So finally a 3 goes down as Cook tries to answer and does. Cook for 3. He's got 12, and just when Holy Spirit was able to cut into that lead, the Mustangs extended back to 14, 49-35 with 3:51 to play on 97.3 ESPN.
Mike, tonight's game brought to you by Johnson's Popcorn. It's known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Call them at 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn since 1940. Tonight's game also brought to you by Shore True Value Hardware in Summers Point. Hoping that you will continue to shop locally. They offer friendly service and expert advice. At Shore Hardware, they'll do anything to help. They're open weekdays until 7, Saturdays until 6, Sundays until 4. Help just around the corner at Shore True Value Hardware. 515 New Road, Summers Point. Call them at 609-927-6464 or visit them online, shorehardware.com.
Mainland trying to pull away here. Holy Spirit trying to stay in it. Kalinowski off the timeout. Just kind of forced up a little 14-footer there, Mike. They do get to the line on the offensive rebound by Jake Sella, but not a great shot there.
Yeah, Jack Sella, that spark off of the bench, right? I mean, he's already, into the game just a couple seconds, and one of the smallest guys on the floor gets the offensive rebound.
Sella from the line was 0 of 2 his first trip. He makes the first one here. 13-point lead now for Mainland. And Sella gets a pair. 49-37. 3:38 to play. Mainland moving right to left, wearing green. On the right, thought about a three. Zanaris puts it on the floor. Bounce pass into the corner. Going baseline, spinning is Barron. He stepped on the end line.
Good idea from Barron. Just got a little bit out of control as he made his move. He sort of baited Giorgio into the corner and then was able to go by him, but just got a little too carried away down low, stepped out of bounds.
So a 12-point game. Mainland trying to cut it. He may be into single digits with a three here. Backdoor, Glenn cutting, layup good. Joe Glenn, 23 points for Joe Glenn.
And a nice feed there by Isaiah Jarina, who really hasn't, at least points-wise, been involved tonight, but certainly a nice look to the big fella cutting through the lane.
10-point game, under 3 minutes to play here in the third. Mazer on the wing, Mazer on the right side, kicks it up to Zanaris. Zanaris ball fake, Zanaris dribble drive. Zanaris gets it blocked from behind by Giorgio, but right to Cook, and Cook has 14 with the loose change bucket, 51-39.
Talk about Johnny on the spot, right? Jay Cook with the block from behind, ball goes right to him, easy layup.
Cutting Sella, bounce pass to Glenn on the right block. He's fouled and he gets it to go, and he's got 25 points and a chance at 26 with the free throw, and he can get it into single digits.
Just been a monster tonight, and Holy Spirit has needed every point. I mean, they're still down 10 even with the effort, but what a night, Joe Glenn.
Glenn can't get the free throw. Sella tries to fight for it. And Cook ends up running, or Barron ends up running down with it. Mazer in transition, up to Zanaris. Over to Barron. Barron right of the lane. Back out to Zanaris. Zanaris backs off to the right sideline. 2:15 to play in the third. Zanaris getting by defenders. The ball is poked from behind. Cook jumps on the floor. Barron jumps on the floor. He's holding his hip, rolling around. And we do have a jump ball, and it's going to stay with Mainland as Masari pops off the bench. He's going to get Tommy Zanaris. 10-point game. Mainland leads. They've been in control the whole third quarter. 2:10 to play. Towel comes out. Moisture on the floor.
A lot of hustle from both sides out there tonight, Mike. You can sense this is a rivalry game. Good atmosphere here tonight in Absecon. Obviously, pair of Route 9 rivals, not too far to travel for a lot of the Mainland faithful, and pretty near capacity here tonight. So a big-time matchup here in a game that obviously, as we talked about, should go a long way in determining the outcome of the National Conference in the Cape Atlantic League.
Yeah, pretty full all the way around. Not too many seats left to be had. Mazer inbounds. Barron catches in the deep corner. Back up top from Masari. 10-point lead. 2 minutes to play here in the third. Masari gets by the defender. Kick out to the corner. Three ball up by Cook. It is short. The rebound comes down to Sella. You figure Mainland's got to cool off at some point. Baseball pass poked out of bounds by Mace, who is hustling.
Jarina trying to catch that one over the shoulder style. Of course, standout tight end, but Mainland able to knock it away from him.
Inbound right to Jarina. Jarina kick out. Kalinowski catches between the circles. Now he backs up to the far sideline in front of the Spartans bench. Spartans trailing by 10 with the ball. Sella puts it on the floor. Sella spins, weaving through defenders. Now a three ball. LaMonica can't get it to go, but Sella with the little putback. Sella with 4. He's got the putback. It's an 8-point game.
It's that boost, right? No bench scoring from Holy Spirit in the first half. All of a sudden, Jack Sella, he brings the energy and he brings you 4 points and back to single digits, this deficit.
Masari trying to get by Spartan defenders. He's trapped by 3 of them, and Glenn comes up with the loose change. Turnover. Mainland, it's an 8-point lead, and Holy Spirit now has the ball. Coming up on a minute to play here in the third. So Mainland coughing up the lead. Holy Spirit taking advantage of miscues. Kalinowski spins all the way to the basket. Scoop, layup, good. 8 for Kalinowski. It is a 7-point game all of a sudden.
This is the surge that Spirit needed, and now they have a little bit of confidence, extending the defense a little bit.
Ooh, and the cutting. Finds a cutting Barron to answer finally for Mainland. Pumps it back up to 8.
Perfect play from the Mustangs. Spirit extending the defense. There's going to be some holes on the back end, and the Stangs were able to capitalize.
Kalinowski crossing over, 28 seconds left to go. Sella catches 3, short, rebound is taken down by Mazer, and he lost it. (53-45), 8-point lead, 23 seconds to go in the third. Mainland with the ball, Holy Spirit with the ball off the turnover. Kalinowski spins into the corner. Sella catches 3. Good! Sella has 7. That 3 goes, and it's 53-48. And Holy Spirit has clawed its way back into this one.
Officials with a timeout here is, I think, the student section from Holy Spirit getting a little overzealous. Some guys some kids, I should say, been sort of popping into the face of some Mainland players, so they're going to get that sorted out right now.
They are very close. Mazer inbounds. Masari in the backcourt. Mazer, Masari, Cook, Barron, and Mace, the 5 on the floor for Mainland. 53-48, 5 seconds, nearly a steal. Barron over to Mazer. Mazer looks at the clock and fires up a 3. It's short. And that is how we end the third quarter with Mainland 53, Holy Spirit 48. 8 left to play on 97.3 ESPN.
Tonight's game brought to you by Rodeo Catering. If you're planning a party and want to make it special, get It's a Rodeo custom on-site catering involved. Rodeo Catering has provided a wide variety of food and drink to gatherings all over New Jersey, from birthday parties to wedding receptions to spectacular tailgating at major sporting events. When you plan your next event, make your first call to John Rodeo at 609-839-6209. You set the date, they bring the party. It's a Rodeo custom catering. Email them at itsarodeo@gmail.com.
The game of the week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN, brought to you by Atlantic Care, with urgent care centers all over South Jersey. Mike Gill, Mike Frankel here in Absecon. Joe Glenn, 25 points, but finally getting some help, Mike. Sella with 7, LaMonica with 8, and Kalinowski with 8 as they have cut into this Mainland lead.
We mentioned at Spirit getting exactly what it needed. I mean, the Spartans fell behind by, 14 points at one point in that third quarter. You got the sense that they needed to put something together before we headed to the fourth. And obviously there was still time in the fourth, but just to get some momentum and try to chip away. So Spirit gets it down to 5. All of a sudden, a much more manageable deficit as we head into the fourth quarter here. And Mainland, again, lights out three-point shooting for most of this game, but cooled off just a little bit there for a couple minutes, giving Holy Spirit an opportunity to cash in at the other end as Sella's able to hit a big one. A couple of his teammates getting involved as well.
So Holy Spirit with the ball as they trail 53-48. They inbound it. Here they go, left to right on the radio dial. Kalinowski from the free throw line, and it's a 3-point game. It was up to 14. It's down to 3.
Right off the inbound play, Kalinowski fakes his man out. Sella finds him, knocks down the jumper.
Pressure from Holy Spirit. And Cook baseline. 16 for Cook. Cook leads all scorers for Mainland. Kalinowski. Sella catches on the left wing. Back to Kalinowski. Long 3. Front rim, no good. And Masari comes down with it. The smallest guy on the floor gets it. Here comes Mazer in transition. Mazer, no look pass, off into the corner. Long 3s in Aris. It's long. Rebound comes down to Jarena. Jarena in transition. Jarena still coming down the court. Cross court. LaMonica spins on the baseline. Back out to Sella on the left wing. Back up top to Kalinowski between the circles at the top of the key. Between the legs, Kalinowski goes all the way, dribble drive, layup is good. 12 for Christian Kalinowski.
The Mustangs have to know that Kalinowski is trying to go to his left every time, but he's able to fake out Mainland and thinking that he wants to go right. And then he gets the step and Gets to his left hand.
Mazur answers with a 3, and it's his 4-3, 16 points.
Every time Spirit comes that close, Mainland comes up with a big answer at the other end.
Kalinowski spins to Sella for 3. Bang!
Is this fun or what, Mike?
10 points for Sella, his second 3 of the game. And both these teams are in rhythm right now as a timeout is taken with 6:15 left to go in the game. Mainland 58, Holy Spirit 55.
Mike, Atlanticare Urgent Care Centers located throughout South Jersey, staffed with board-certified providers, registered nurses, and X-ray technologists. They provide care for non-life-threatening emergencies and illnesses 7 days a week, including holidays without an appointment or long wait times. X-ray and lab services are right on site. If the unexpected happens, it's the urgent care you know you can trust. For a complete list of hours and locations, visit atlanticare.org/urgent. Tonight's game also brought to you by Blue Water Graphics. Need a sign? You need Captain Charlie. Captain Charlie uses Blue Water Graphics and Cape Signs to create signs for real estate and other businesses. They do construction site signs and window lettering for your business. They can also provide the lettering for your van, truck, car, or boat. You can reach Blue Water Graphics at 609-823-8891 and Cape Signs at 856-506-0610. Signs, banners, vehicles, windows. They can supply whatever lettering you need at Blue Water Graphics and Cape Signs.
6:15 left to play. Mainland leads Holy Spirit 58-55 with 6:15 left to play. Wild game. Sella for 3, Mazur for 3. Back and forth they play. 14-point lead, cuts it back to 3, and here we go. 2 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Mustangs with the ball, 58-55 they lead. Masari catches top of the key, back to Barron. Barron got off to a hot start, and he's been silent really since. He's got 10 points. They all came early in this game. Down low in the block, Cook goes baseline, and we had a whistle on the floor, but he made the bucket. Another level, he might have got a free throw attempt there.
Just about everything falling for the Mustangs tonight, whether it counts or not.
58-55, Mainland will inbound. 5:48 left to play in the game. Inbounding the ball, gets into the quarter. Mazur catches. Mazur for 3, it's short. And boy, he's really feeling it as he just launched from way downtown. Now Mazur gets a layup, and he'll get the assist on that. I don't think he meant to pass it, Mike, but he'll get the dime on that one. Jarena, shot blocked away by Barron, and Barron blocked it off of Jarena, and they'll get the ball back.
Turnaround's fair play. Jarena with a huge block in the first half, an emotional block that time. It was the Mustangs blocking Jarena and knocking it off of him. So not only do you get the block, you get possession as well.
5-point lead, 60-55, 5:23 to play in the game. Mainland now could use some time. They're going to get it off on the right side. Cook catches, defended by Kalinowski. Back up to Mazur. Mazur stepping on Giorgio. Good defense, picks up the dribble, nearly throws it away. Masari comes and gets it. Left wing, top of the key for Cook. Spins, dribbles, gives up the dribble. Mazur catches. He's been hot. Mazur leads the way. 16 points for Mainland. All the way, dribble drive. Zanaris. The shot is no good, even though it fell, but it was a foul first on the floor.
Zanaris certainly wanting that continuation. Nice strong play there from Tommy Zanaris. But again, the whistle on the floor, so it'll be out of bounds possession to the Stangs.
Zanaris will inbound. They lead by 5. Just under 5 minutes to play. Zanaris with 10. Cook with 18. Barron with 10. And Mazur with 16 for Mainland. Mazur all the way. Nice dish on the block. Barron short on the layup. And Glenn, who has 25 points but been quiet recently, with the rebound. Giorgio steps in. Sella thought about a 3, extra pass into the corner. LaMonica baseline, right hand layup. LaMonica's in double figures with 10.
Just lulled the defender to sleep there on the pump fake from the outside. Mainland was thinking LaMonica was going to jack the 3. He's able to get the step and lay it in easily at the bucket.
Backdoor, Zanaris can't get the reversal. The putback no good. Barron, left hand good, and he hits the deck and a whistle. Barron on the offensive glass gets a putback and a timeout taken, I think is what happened there by Mainland. So 62-57. Barron with 12 off the offensive board and putback, and Mainland leads at 62-57.
This game brought to you with the best wishes of everyone at Calvi Electric in Atlantic City, who encourage you to get out and support your favorite high school team every week. Mike, it's known all over the Delaware Valley. Johnson's Popcorn on the Ocean City Boardwalk, specializing in their delicious caramel corn. You can get Johnson's Popcorn in individual servings all the way up to 3.5-gallon tins. Look for them in your favorite food market or party store. Johnson's Popcorn, 1368 Boardwalk in Ocean City. Call them at 1-800-842-2676 and have your popcorn shipped to you. They're also online at johnsonspopcorn.com. Johnson's Popcorn since 1940.
Mike Gill, Mike Frankel, 97.3 ESPN, 97.3ESPN.com has live video. We'll go to the Sixers right after this. They trail Atlanta 80-77 in the third quarter of that one. We are at 4:14 left in the fourth. 62-57. Mainland leads Holy Spirit. Spartans will inbound the ball. It was 37-26 Mainland at half. 53. Glenn catches, layup, good on the left block. Boy, they fired that pass to Glenn. He didn't look like he was ready for it, but caught it high over his head. He's got 27.
You had just mentioned Glenn had been cooling off a little bit, if you can even say that with a guy with near 30 points, but we hadn't called his name lately. Gets right back into the flow there.
Bounce pass. Cook at the foul line. Kicks it into the corner. Mace back into the game. And he throws it away. Nope. Run down by Zanaris. Cook in the corner. Cook gives up the dribble, looking for some help. Down in the corner for Barron. Barron spins baseline, and he gets a layup. Barron is tough, working hard, 14 points.
A scramble offensively, but Mainland never panicked there, Mike. I mean, they could have a bunch of times, but the Mustangs stayed cool and under control, and it finishes with a 2-point play.
Kalinowski, near steal. LaMonica, three way off the mark. And the rebound is on the floor. We got a jump ball, and it's going to go to Mainland. Yeah, LaMonica just can't. By the way, I had LaMonica for 10. I gave him that bucket that he had the offensive foul on earlier.
I'm sure he would take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he started slow tonight. 7 points now, so a couple buckets there in the third quarter, early on in the fourth. But, you know, right back in this game, and it's been those guys other than Glenn that have helped Holy Spirit climb back into this thing. One guy who has been really quiet tonight, Santino Giorgio, still scoreless, but he's a guy, too. Keep an eye on him. Certainly capable of making some big shots down the stretch for Spirit.
Yeah, he's a creative scorer for them. But as Mike mentioned, Zippo tonight. Big loss in the scoring column for them, for a guy who can pump some in. Here comes Masari. He's got 6. He's got a couple of threes. Mainland's really used the long-range bombs tonight. Barron, top of the key. Behind the back. Cook hands it off. Zanaris, cross court to Mazer. Mazer behind his back. Mazer looking for separation. Nice no-look pass. And, Barron can't get it to fall, but the pass was crafty.
Mazer can't believe it. He was already running back celebrating and rimmed in and out.
3 ball. Kalinowski in and out, no good. Rebound ripped down by Barron. Mazer bringing the ball up, crosses the timeline. Bounce pass for Masari. Masari on the wing. Masari leaves it off for Barron. Barron puts it on the floor. Barron into the corner. Cook, cross-court pass. Masari back to Mazer. Back to Masari in the corner. Masari at the right elbow. No-look pass into the corner for Cook. Killing some clock. 2 minutes to play here in the game. 64-59 Mainland. Zanaris goes up with a shot, and he's fouled.
Outstanding patience there by the Mustangs. Holy Spirit really trapping everything, certainly around the outside, and Mainland just able to keep getting it to the open player. They had a couple open looks for 3. You certainly don't need that up 5 with just about 2 minutes to go, and they get a better look down low. Zanaris hacked on his way to the bucket.
Zanaris with 11. $65-59. Ooh, couldn't get that to go. It rolled all the way around and out. So the lead stays at 6. Kalinowski, he goes, and a blocking foul called on the floor. So, Mike, they had 27 from Glenn. He did most of that damage in the first half, and they really haven't been able to get him going here late in the second half.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. That's the 6th team foul against Mainland, so any more would send Spirit to the free throw line. Certainly something to keep an eye on there.
Free ball, in and out, no good. And the rebound by Sella for the putback. He's got 12. So Sella's been a big contributor, double figures off the bench. Masari gets it off to Zanaris, 4-point game, 1:35 left to play. Mike just mentioned the fouls. Mace between the legs, working on Giorgio. And Mainland killing the clock, playing a little catch at the top of the key.
Spirit's got one to give, Mike. They might want to give it here, and there it is.
So Sella utilizes that foul. Nobody really in a foul trouble here. Been a clean game for the most part. Mazur's going to jump back in. Zanaris, the trigger man on the far sideline. Throws it into the backcourt for Mazur. Mazur loses it for a second and then regains possession. 1-10, dribbling around into the corner. Barron, cross court to Masari. Masari here on the near side, and Sella's going to have to foul. It's just the second foul on Sella, but now you're going to start to see 1-and-1.
Now the pressure's on. Now the Mustangs are going to have to make the front end of some trips to the free throw line here. A near steal there, too. Holy Spirit was almost able to come up with that one. They were able to double team Mazur up top, but give a lot of credit to Luke as he was able to gather the ball kind of down between his legs and keep that offensive possession going for Mainland.
Joe Masari comes up short. So Holy Spirit now down by 4, under a minute. They need a bucket. They don't need a 3. Let's see what they come up with. Kalinowski working on Mace. Pulls up for 3. Gets it to go. What a pull-up. 15 points for Kalinowski. And we've got a 1-point game with 44.4 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Mike, tonight's game brought to you by Rodeo Catering. If you're planning a party and want to make it special, get It's a Rodeo custom on-site catering involved. Rodeo Catering has provided a wide variety of food and drink to gatherings all over New Jersey, from birthday parties to wedding receptions to spectacular tailgating at major sporting events. When you plan your next event, make your first call to John Rodeo, 609-839-6209. You set the date, they bring the party. It's a Rodeo custom catering. Email them at itsarodeo@gmail.com. The game of the week produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN, brought to you by Atlanticare with urgent care centers all over South Jersey. 44.4 left in the game. It was 14, and now it's 1. Kalinowski pulling up there from 3 to make it 65-44. You're in a situation, though, where if you don't get a steal, how low do you let the clock run before you decide to foul here? You go right away, or you continuously try to make Mainland pass the ball around? I think because you're just down 1 point, there's 44 and change on the clock. I think you have plenty of time to try and trap. I think once this thing hits about 25 seconds, then you really need to start thinking about fouling. But right now, you try to come up with a steal if you can in the next 15 seconds.
Mainland beats the pressure. Cross court to Masari. 36 seconds. Sella's going to foul. Sella's got his third all of a sudden. And Masari right back to the line. He missed the front end on the last attempt. He'll get 1 here. 18 fouls for Holy Spirit, so a couple of fouls away still from the double.
Not a bad strategy from Holy Spirit, sending Masari right back to the line. The guy who was off on the front end just a trip ago. Give him something to think about here in a pressure-packed situation.
And Masari misses. Rebound comes down to Jarina. 30 seconds to go. Does Holy Spirit hold for 1 here?
I think the first good look you get, you take it. You don't necessarily hold for 1.
24 seconds. Kalinowski all the way. Right hand runner. It's no good. Rebound. And we got a jump ball call. It's going to stay with Holy Spirit with 18 seconds left.
How big is that possession arrow? And I looked right away across the gym from us, Mike, pointing to the Spartans, so they get another crack at this thing.
65-64, timeout Mainland with 18 seconds left to go. The Spartans going to draw up a play. You drawing up a play for Kalinowski, or are you going down to the block to Joe Glenn?
I think you try to go through Glenn if he has the advantage on the inside, if he's able to get someone on his back. You know, if Mainland's able to front him down there, then I think you keep it in the hands of one of your guards and Kalinowski. And I wouldn't be afraid to put it in Jack Sella's hands either. I mean, he's been a spark plug for Holy Spirit. He's got 12 points, and I know he's a guy that comes off the bench, but he's really been the emotional leader, certainly in this second half. So I think you try to draw something up. You try to look for Glenn in the high to low post. If they're going to double him there, if Mainland's going to double him or front him and makes the pass a little more treacherous, then I think you give your guard an opportunity to get creative and maybe try to work off a pick around the outside. But certainly a lot of time to play with 18 seconds.
Mainland, by the way, has a foul to give here. Actually, no, if they foul, they'll put Holy Spirit in the one-on-one situation. So Mainland has to be careful.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you got to play tight D because the game's on the line, and if you foul, you foul. I mean, it's still a situation where Spirit would have to make 2 free throws to beat it. You don't want to intentionally foul, but you got to play normal defense here.
Sella will be the inbound. They go for Kalinowski. Kalinowski catches on the left wing. Here we go, 15 seconds left. He's backing up. Glenn is down on the low block, using a screen from Jarina, top of the key. All the way, kick out in the corner. 3-ball Giorgio, that is blocked. It looks like Mace got a tip, and it was way short. It had to have been blocked. It's tough for us to see in that deep right corner, but it had to have been blocked because that came up way short.
Yeah, it was blocked there, as we do have an obstructed view from our area, but guess who's walking right back to the line, Mike? It's Joe Massari. He's had a pretty solid floor game tonight. He's banged a couple of threes, but he's come up empty on the last couple of trips. So, again, even more pressure packed into this situation here with 6.7 on the clock's 1 and 1.
Well, keep in mind, Mike, even if he makes both, 6.7 is still time for a 3 and tie. But Massari has missed his last couple. And this one he makes.
Got to feel good for Joe Massari there. So, you know, make or miss, like you just mentioned, Mike, plenty of time for Holy Spirit. Offhand, we're not keeping track of timeouts over here, so I don't know if they have a timeout. But either way, plenty of time to get the ball up the court. Obviously, if Massari makes this, you need a 3.
And he does. Mainland by 3. 67-64. 6.5 seconds left here in the game. 97.3 ESPN. We've got a good one on a Friday night in Absecon.
6.5 on the clock, Mike. Now you obviously need a 3. There's just not enough time to try to get 2 and try to foul and try to do it again. So you try to draw up a play for 3. It was an interesting call, you know, coming out of the last time out, and obviously a lot of confidence that Jamie Gillespie has in Santino Giorgio. We mentioned it just a couple of minutes ago, but that's a kid who is capable of shooting the 3, is capable of scoring. He's had some big scoring nights so far this year, but he hasn't scored tonight, so a lot of confidence there. You don't know if he was the first option, second option, whatever, but he ended up with the 3. It was blocked. Now they need a 3, so it's a situation where whomever's open on the outside is going to be able to take that shot. And again, the ball's going to have to go the full distance. It's not NBA where you call that timeout and you get it at midcourt. So, you know, a couple dribbles, try to get some passing up the floor, and then whomever's open outside the arc is going to take that first good look for 3.
Yeah, and, you know, Sella's hit a couple threes. Kalinowski hit that last 3. LaMonica has had a tough night shooting. Jarina has hit 3s in the past. So and Giorgio took that last 3 there. So they have a couple of options here. Let's see what Jamie Gillespie draws up. They trail by 3 with 6.5. Everyone standing on the Mainland side, at least, looking to see what they come up with defensively. They have pressure on the ball. Inbound pass. Here comes Kalinowski. And Mainland is going to use that strategy with the 1 and 1.
I was just about to mention that's not a bad play either for Mainland, too, especially with a 1 and 1. I mean, you could even see that strategy in the double bonus because then the 3 can't tie and send to overtime, right? So 1 and 1 here. And with 4.4 on the clock, obviously you need to make the first one. Then the second one, you have to think about missing it intentionally.
Kalinowski was 16.
I think you have to miss this one on purpose, Mike. I think there's just not enough time to try to make it and then foul again and try to get the ball down the court.
Second one's good. He doesn't go with that strategy. So let's see what they do. Zanaris, and a timeout taken. A whistle from Dan McGinnis, and a timeout by Mainland. 67-66 with 4.4 seconds to play, and Mainland talking things over here. What's Dan Williams want to talk about?
Well, he sensed a little bit of trouble. His player was having a little bit of trouble getting that basketball in, and you heard some oohs from the crowd because that timeout was called basically when the ball was in the air, and it wasn't really a doubt in terms of a Mustangs player was going to catch it, but just sort of a weird situation there. But anyway, they do get the timeout, so yeah, you have to draw up a play to get someone open, right? Step one is getting the basketball inbounds. So it's after a make, so you should be able to run the baseline a little bit. Sometimes you see coaches come up with a pass to another player out of bounds, and then the original player steps in and gets the basketball. So you try to draw something up, not too tricky, but something to create some space for one of your guards to get the basketball. And then if you're Holy Spirit, obviously you have to foul right away. No time here to try and trap. You have to foul.
67-66. Mainland leads with the ball. 4.4 left to play. Zanaris inbound. He's the trigger man underneath the underneath the Holy Spirit basket. Full court. Zanaris looking. Bounce pass to Mazer, and he's fouled. So less than 1 second comes off the clock. 3.6. Mazer, who's had a great night, he's got 16 points for the Mustangs. He walks the floor.
Double bonus now, too, which is huge now, Mike. So Mazer gets a pair. But either way, it's, make them both, miss them both. It's still going to be a one-possession game. The problem now for Spirit, though, 3.6 on the clock. You really need to get a pass that goes down the court to try to get a look for three.
Mazer misses.
Unless you don't need a three, and that opens up a lot more now.
So now a three would win the game for Mainland. You would assume if Jamie Gillespie has one, he'll take a timeout. Mazer's second shot is good. So 17 for Mazer. Here comes the inbound. Kalinowski, 2 seconds. Kalinowski going to pull up from half court. Short. And Mainland improves to 6-4. Holy Spirit falls to 7-4 with a thrilling win tonight on the road for the Mustangs, and the National Division just got interesting.
No doubt about it, Mike. Really, you have to be impressed about what Mainland was able to come in here and do here tonight. I mean, still early in the season, but coming off of that loss against Ocean City a couple of nights ago, that was a big division loss, and that sort of put them behind the 8 ball. Spirit and Lower Cape May front running in the Cal National, but this throws a wrench into all of that. Mainland, we talked about it off at the top. There's not a lot that separates those 4 teams, Lower Cape May, Holy Spirit, Ocean City, and Mainland. Any of those teams can beat any of the others on any given night. Mainland, a tremendous effort here tonight. Balanced scoring. Jake Cook with 18, Luke Mazer with 17, Angelo Barron with 14, Zanaris with 11, Masari with 8, including a couple free throws down the stretch after he had missed a couple. So just an outstanding effort for Mainland. Good comeback from Holy Spirit, too. Don't take anything away from the Spartans. Just when you get down by 14, 16, whatever it was there in the third, it takes so much energy to battle back. Sometimes it's hard to get over the top. I think that's what happens to the Spartans down the stretch tonight.
So Mainland wins it. They go to 6-4 on the year. Holy Spirit falls to 7-4. Don't forget, Shoot Down Cancer Classic is tomorrow. Great schedule of games all day long. That is at St. Augustine, and the big one tomorrow night, Wildwood Catholic is in action, Haddonfield in action, Pleasantville in action. So a good schedule at the Shoot Down Cancer for tomorrow. St. Joe Camden Catholic on Sunday. So a great tournament that Dave Catalana and the people out there do a great job with.
Looking forward to it. I'll be over there tomorrow. Going to check out a couple of those matchups. That Pleasantville game against Elizabeth. Also going to check out Haddonfield taking on Paul VI. Yeah, a lot of great money that those guys raised there. Dave Catalana and company, the Shoot Down Cancer Classic, and it all goes, of course, to the Shoot Down Cancer Foundation, which then goes to CHOP. So all of that money, I think it's over $300,000 they've raised over the years. Just unbelievable effort. And for high school basketball fans, some pretty good games to watch too.
Final score. Mainland wins it 68-66 on 97.3 ESPN. We'll send you to the Sixers and the Hawks. Hawks leading 93-90. We'll get you out to that game right now on 97.3 ESPN. Have a great weekend, everybody.